Hi, my name is Dionne Cockheran. I have recently been diagnosed with Chiari malformation disease, type 1 and type 3. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to raise awareness, and hopefully this video and my journey will be a help to someone else. Chiari, type 1, is genetic. It's something that you're born with when the brain tonsils have outgrown the skull. We have a model that my brain cannot be contained. And so most people go through their lives without having any symptoms and any complications and are just fine. And then you have special people as myself that where the brain is not allowing the fluid from the brain and the spine to flow and begin to create pockets in the spine. And so that's when you come across the problems that I have. I had been having a headache for about 4 days. It got to the point that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I went into the hospital and told them that I had a headache, had the headache for 4 days, and that I wasn't leaving the hospital until they gave me something that was going to help, because it felt like my face was going to explode. The headache was coming from the back to the front. Immediately, at that point, the doctor ordered a CAT scan and an MRI. And so they did that. It took her about 4 hours to get back with the results. And so the reason why that ended up happening was because she knew that she saw something, but she didn't know what it was that she was looking at. And so she had to wait for a radiologist to actually read the report. And normally that doesn't happen that day. Usually it's sent to the radiologist and they read it a couple of days later just to make sure everything was okay. Well, the radiologist looked at it and he said that I had a rare disease called Chiari. The doctor in the ER that was seeing me had no idea what that was. And so she actually had to look it up and consult with some other physicians before she even came in to tell me. When she came in to tell me, she had told me at that time that, you know, surgery was the only way to go. You know, I wasn't born for that. So, of course, I went to go get a second opinion. The person that gave me the second opinion was like, you know, that he was surprised that I didn't have more symptoms that I was having at the time. And for the shrinks, which are the pockets of fluid that's in my spine, for the size of the shrinks that I had, you know, he was surprised that I didn't have any more problems. However, I did go get a third opinion.
Good for you.
And the other doctor that I am seeing now was like, you know, we need to do surgery now, because the problems that I'm having, even though they seem like they're many little different problems, that they all were one big problem. So a lot of the symptoms that I've had for the last 10 to 15 years, I was diagnosed with migraines. That's Chiari. For the last 2 years, I've been struggling with chest pain, and they told me that I had angina, which is not getting enough oxygen to your heart. The chest pain is also a part of Chiari. I've been having a lot of neck and shoulder pain, loss of feeling in my hand. And I thought it was because I'm top heavy and I need to have a breast reduction. It's all Chiari. Shortness of breath, Chiari. What are the other symptoms that I have?
Loss of memory.
Loss of memory. Being clumsy. All of that stuff is Chiari. And there's so many, from my research, there's like 85 symptoms to Chiari. And because they're so unrelative, you think, to one another, that so many people are being misdiagnosed and they don't know that they have Chiari.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that have migraines that probably need to have an MRI and a CAT scan done. There is no cure for Chiari. Unfortunately, Chiari is something that you just live with for the rest of your life. However, surgery is to help relieve the pressure on the nerve that's causing a lot of the symptoms. My surgeon told me that there's a 65% chance that after surgery, I will have very few headaches. However, because I've been misdiagnosed for so long, a lot of the nerve damage that's been done, like the feeling in my hands and dropping things and not being able to have a good grip on stuff, it can't be reversed. My memory loss, that can't be reversed. So, and that's just because it's been misdiagnosed for so long. And that's why I am so passionate about raising awareness, because if it's caught early on, a lot of the things that I'm suffering from, you won't have. Chiari's color, it's so crazy because purple has been my favorite color since I knew my colors. I have fallen in love with the color purple. And come to find out that the ribbon for Chiari is purple. Wow. And so, you know, I was like, how appropriate. You know what I mean? That I would end up with something that, you know, the color is purple. So the color for Chiari is purple. We have a purple ribbon. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people don't know that there's a ribbon. Our phrase, our model phrase, like I said before, is my brain was too large to be contained. And I just think that that's awesome, because what it is that the brain has outgrown the skull. And so my surgery, they're actually going to go and cut parts of my skull off. Because there's so much damage that's been done, there's a very small portion of the brain that they want to remove. And then they will go and drain the fluid out of my spine. My incision is going to be 7.5 to 8 inches long. They're going to cut me from right there, almost at the top of my head, down to about 2.5 inches below my neck. My plans for 2013 and on are, I'm going to have an event that's going to be called the Purple Tie Affair. And how appropriate is that? So I'm expecting all the gentlemen to show up, you know, in, of course, purple ties, and then the ladies to dress accordingly. There's going to be a lot of entertainment. But mainly, you know, just bringing in people that have been through the struggle to raise awareness, and to also give hope and encouragement to people that may be beginning their journey. I just feel like if I share the journey, that people that are coming into the journey, even though it's a very scary thing, realize that it's going to be okay. You can live with it. Get through it. We are called the Zipper Heads, and my girls and my son are getting tattoos just because they love me the way that they do. And I thought that that was really awesome. And so we're going to be doing that. I also want to create a walk here in Washington that also is going to raise awareness. It is my goal to partner with Seattle Children's Hospital, because what I have learned through my research is that majority of the people that struggle with this disease is children. And so showing my scar, telling my story, raising money for children and families that don't have the funds to, you know, fund what it takes to get diagnosed and get through the surgery, or even if it's to help a family that because their child has been diagnosed with Chiari can't work full time, to help cushion the surgery time so that, you know, they don't worry about food to eat or while they're at the hospital that, you know, there'll be money for them to tap into for food and stuff.
Okay, I have a question. Are your children involved? I mean, do they do the research with you? How much do they know about this?
My girls are really sensitive, so they haven't done any research that I know of, except for one, my Isha. The minute I told her, she said, "How do you spell it?" And she was on the internet. My girls are really sensitive, and so they just know what it is. Right. They know how it affects me on a daily basis, and what has to happen. I don't think that they'll be very in that portion of it, but as far as raising awareness, they're excited. They're excited about, you know, my thing, my whole point of everything that I'm about to do in this endeavor is knowing, getting the knowledge of, being aware. If you don't know it's there, you know, and that's what's caused a lot of my problem, is just not knowing for so many years. So that is my passion, is get in and get checked. Right. You know, get in and get checked.
For everything.
For, you know.
Right then and there.
Right. Just, you know, if you're having headaches or some of the symptoms that are very key for Chiari, you know, just say, you know, I think it's probably best we do a CAT scan and an MRI just to make sure that everything is okay.
Just because.
Just because, you know.
Yes, yes. But you know, a lot of people, they're afraid to do that. They're afraid of what they're going to find out. Got simple headache.
But it's better to know. It's better to know.
Yes.
You know, you can't fix what you don't know is there. And, you know, as I've said several times, and I'll say again, I'm suffering a lot more now because I wasn't aware that there was a problem. My memory loss that they said cannot be reversed, that didn't have to be if it was diagnosed a long time ago. So we, especially as African American, and especially my men, we have got to get to the doctor, we have got to get diagnosed, and we have got to take better care of ourselves. At this time, you can find your information on webmd.com. However, in the very near future, I will have a website that will have all this information, different people with different stories, videos of journeys of people that others have gone through, activities that are in my state and activities that may be in cities and states that are around you. It is my goal to make sure that all the information that is needed will be provided. And if you would like to keep up with my story, or if you have questions, concerns, you can contact me at dcockheran@gmail.com. That is Dionne Cockheran. No, sorry, dcockheran@gmail.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I'm hoping that my story will be an encouragement for your story. Good day.